Hello and welcome to my new story Statistical Fallacy or Survivor Bias. During World War II, American fighter planes were shot down by German and US was losing large number of fighter planes. The challenge was how to make the US fighter plane survive the onslaught of German bullets. How to reduce the aircraft casualties. The solution was very easy. Just install additional anti-bullet armor of hardened steel alloy. But you know, you can't put the armor all over the body of the plane. It would make the plane heavy and bulky. So, which part of the plane is most vulnerable? Which part of the plane is most delicate? And how do we find that out? The Statistical Research Group of US Army was engaged for this task, and they tried to approach this military problem with a statistical research methodology to find out the most vulnerable part of the aircraft. SRG conducted a statistical analysis of the bullets received to the planes returning from the battlefield. By mapping out the bullet holes, they found that their planes were receiving the most bullets on the wings and tails. The engine was spared. US SRG concluded and recommended that the wings and tails are the most vulnerable to receiving the bullets. They simply recommended to put or to install the anti-bullet armor on the wings and tails. Mr. Abraham Wald, who came to know about this recommendation, revisited the entire exercise again and found that SRG had taken into consideration only the planes which were returning from the battlefield. The planes which did not return from the battlefield or which were shot down by the enemy were not part of the statistical sample at all. The planes which did not return from the battlefield had received the bullets on the engine, which was the most vulnerable part of the plane, and Mr. Wald recommended to put the armor on the engine instead of tails and wings. A great mistake was avoided. This is called as survival bias or statistical fallacy. We must aware of such biases and statistical fallacies all the time. The message is simple. The message is simple. While drawing any conclusion out of any analysis, we must avoid all type of biases. Thank you for listening patiently.